Hi there, welcome to Banff. We're at beautiful Johnson Lake today, here to give you a nice hip flexor and shoulder opening 20-minute workout. So, my name's Jessica. I'm a Pilates certified instructor. I've been teaching for 6 years now, and I'm excited to be in the mountains working out with you today. We're gonna focus on hip flexors and shoulders, like I said today, in an active way. So we're gonna strengthen the glutes, we're gonna strengthen the mid-upper back, your posture muscles. So this is the perfect workout for you if you've been sitting all day, whether that's been at a desk working, or maybe in the car on a road trip, whatever it is, this is gonna leave you feeling mobilized and open and ready to leave that sitting behind you and go on with life. So without further ado, we're gonna start down on your hands and knees. All right, we're gonna get started on our hands and knees. 4-point kneeling, brush away any ants nearby. Get your fingers spread out nice and wide, knees underneath your hips, shoulders stacked over wrists. Now before we actually get into the workout, let's just tune in to your breath. Inhale through your nose, exhale through the mouth. On your inhale, feel the expansion of the rib cage, reaching towards that beautiful sky. Exhale, forcing the air out, feel the core connect. Adding in a cat-cow to that, let's tuck the tail, round the spine as you exhale. Drop the head. Take a nice inhale at the top, then exhale, unwind, tail to head. Lifting the chest, maybe another inhale at the bottom. And then again, exhale, tuck, round, push the floor away from you. Inhale, hold. Exhale, unwind. And then just reconnect to neutral. Let's do a few protraction and retractions. Draw the shoulder blades together, retract, and then draw the shoulder blades away from each other, protract. So your chest will go up and down just a little bit as a result of the shoulder blades gliding. We'll do one more, just feeling where your protraction is, where your retraction is, and then find somewhere in between. Right where you feel nice and steady. It feels like you're more on the side of protraction, pushing the floor away. Now, inhale, prepare. Exhale, just reach one leg long. Inhale, put that knee down. Exhale, change sides. We're using that exhale as you reach your legs so that you can connect deeper to your core. And that way you can keep your torso more steady, and therefore you're just isolating this to the glute. How high can you reach your leg without dumping the low back, without the hips twisting? Just going to the point where you can keep those hips nice and steady. Like you're balancing a puddle of water on that low back arch. Watch that you don't spill a drop of that water. Opening up through the hips. That's the goal of today's workout, opening the hips, opening the shoulders. A great workout to do if you've been sitting all week, or if you've been road tripping in a car all week, whatever it might be. We'll do one more here. And then add in the opposite arm. Go ahead and reach that arm forwards. Inhale, return. The connection of your core is what's going to keep you nice and stable. So using that exhale as you reach, connect through the core, drawing the ribs in and up. Inhale as you return. If you're feeling wobbly, this becomes easier if you reach your leg first, then add in your arm. Leg, then the arm, and then back down together, or all at once. And we'll just go one more per side, just using this to warm up a little bit. Okay, reconnect onto your hands and knees, wipe away your ants. Lots of ants today. Spread the fingers wide, tuck your toes underneath you. Down dog. When you're ready, exhale, stick your bum to the sky, press back. Inhale, tap your knees to the floor. Exhale, push the floor away from you. Lengthening through the calf muscles, the hamstrings, and also strengthening the shoulders. We'll go for another 4. We're opening up through the front of the chest, getting into that nice overhead arm range of motion. We don't do a lot of that through our daily lives, so it's always good to practice that. One more. And then let's pause in your down dog. Can you maybe tap your elbows to the mat and then reach them up? Elbows down and then press up. If that's too challenging, you could just practice holding either from the elbows or from the hands, or just do a small little bend and extend, whatever works. You're trying to get your skirt upside down, basically. We'll go for another 4. Strong exhale, blowing away the ants in your hair. 3, there we go. 2, and last one. Let's get down onto the elbows, still holding your down dog. Bring your toes together, and then let's just go down to the knees. So we'll stabilize 4-point from the elbows. Send your right leg long, square off the hips, and then just lift and lower. Opening up through the front of that hip. It's gonna feel like you can lift up higher now that you're on your elbows. Watching that you don't sag through the ribs, but instead keep the core connected. Exhale, find your length as you reach, reach, reach. Inhale, tap the floor. We'll just go for another 5, 4, 3, last 2. Last one, we're holding it up there, tiny circles coming from the hip, just so big that you can keep the hip stable. We only have 2 more. And 1, and then change directions. Trying your very best to keep equal weight happening through those elbows. 2, and 1, lower down, and go ahead and change sides. And up and down there. Of course, you can take your breaks as you need to. You guys have the opportunity to pause your video and take your break, or just keep going with me. We'll go for another 4, 3, 2. Last one, hold it up, tiny circles. 5. Making sure you're not dumping through those ribs. And then reverse. And last 2. Last one. Take a shallow stretch, sitting the bum on the heels, round and reach. Maybe sway side to side, just whatever feels good for you after that. And then let's go up tall kneeling. Squeeze your glutes, connect through your core. And from here, let's just reach the arms forwards as you hinge from the knees, leaning back. And then inhale, release. Exhale, hinge, lean. Feel the sunshine on your face. Only going so far back that you can hold this long line from your head to your knees the whole time. Watching that there's no arching, there's no bending at the hips, but instead really stable. It really doesn't matter how far you lean. Classic name for this one is thigh stretch. I think that's stupid. Just because it doesn't feel like a stretch, right? Technically your thighs are lengthening, but you're lengthening and strengthening at the same time, which is awesome. It's actually really good for increasing your mobility through the quads by actively lengthening them. It just doesn't feel like a stretch. It's misleading. If you went to a Pilates class and we were like, okay, time to do thigh stretch, you'd get so excited and then you'd be so disappointed. Let's just try 3 more and then it won't disappoint you anymore. Last 2. And last one there. And then just release. Okay, now let's reach the arms forwards, hands shoulder height. Exhale, twist, looking towards that hand that's opening. Inhale, return through center. Exhale, twist the other way. Inhale through center. Just mobilizing the spine a little bit here. I know the main focus of today is opening up the hips and the shoulders, but this is also good just to mobilize your spine in all directions, helping you to improve the mobility through your spine. And that should feel like you're a little bit looser after sitting all day. Last one here. And then lying down flat on your belly. We'll start down here with your forehead rested on your hands or wherever you're most comfy. I'm gonna keep my head up so that I can keep talking to you. Feet go mat width apart, legs are turned out laterally, and then we're just going to tuck the tail down. Connect the pubic bone to the mat. Notice the weight between your two hips. Try to stabilize that as you lift one straight leg. And then lower and change sides. So more hip extension work, glute work here. You can never have too much glute work, I think, but also that's how you're going to actively open up through your tight hip flexors. Only lifting as high as you can keep those hips level. Connecting through the core to help stabilize that. We'll go for another 4, 3. Almost like someone's pulling your toe from behind you, creating more length through your leg, like you're pulling your leg out of your socket. Last one. And then don't you worry, you have more practice with that because we're just simply going to add in the arms. Arms straight ahead, thumbs face the sky, palms face in. Your eye gaze is down and your head's hovered a few inches away from the mat. Go ahead and hover opposite arm and leg. Same thing here, only lifting that leg as high as you can keep the hips stable, but then also only lifting your arm as high as you can keep shoulders level. Again, we don't often do a lot of this overhead arm range of motion, so it's okay if it's a small range. That's why we're doing it, to help increase that range of motion and open up through your tight shoulders. Whoops. Hopefully the wind doesn't get your skirt. Let's go for 4. I'm so glad they make skirts now though. Like, who cares if your skirt flies up? You got shorts underneath. Last couple. And then relax for a second. Now, let's keep opening up the shoulders with the elbows wide out to the sides, wider than the mat, so elbows are in line with the shoulders, like a cactus sort of pose. And then from there, keep your eye gaze down at the mat, wipe away the bugs, and then hover one arm. Inhale, lower, exhale, change sides. Again here, the goal is to keep the shoulders level, only hovering so high that the shoulders stay level. There's no twisting happening through your chest. And even without any weights at all, you'll start to feel a good burn through those shoulders, through the mid upper back muscles, through your posture muscles. Can you maybe root the pubic bone down more, reconnecting to the glutes? Just leaving the glutes turned on so that your glutes support your low back. Core tight to help with that stability, and all of that should make it feel a lot better on the low back. Hopefully you're feeling this mainly in the mid upper back. It's okay to feel the low back a little as long as it's not painful. One more per side. And then release. And then we're gonna go back into that position. This time, try hovering both arms and then lowering both arms. You could either stay like this or maybe add in the upper spine. But if you're doing that, try to lift the hands first, then the elbows in your chest, and then lower yourself back down. Hands lead the way, your chest and head follow. Just strengthening your upper spine through your extension. If you clicked on the video, I'm sure that means that you were sitting all day. And so likely your upper back was rounded forward, shoulders were rounded forwards. So we're just countering all that right here. Last 3. Last 2. One more. And then let's take a shell stretch. We deserve a shell after all that. Round and reach forwards. Maybe sway side to side. Go ahead and tall kneeling again. So you're up high on your knees. You If your knees are sensitive, you're welcome to fold up your mat so you have more cushioning underneath them, or grab like a towel or something. Otherwise, staying where you are. Let's just take the left foot forwards, and I just want you to have the knee stacked over top of the ankle instead of leaning into it right here. Hip is stacked over the top of that back knee, and then all you're going to do initially is tuck the tail. Squeeze that back knee, press the hip forward without actually moving it forwards, and notice how your whole thigh gets a really nice stretch. And you're just gonna hold that and breathe. Reaching energy forwards out of that front knee. Let the shoulders relax. And maybe lift your right arm and side bend away from that hip flexor. That's giving you a stretch. I like to take my other hand to the back of my thigh, lift up the buttocks. Really reaching over, looking down towards the side you're bending to. It's going to help to open up the hip more, but also lengthen up the side body. One more big breath. And then come tall. Now, let's step that front foot forwards more. Just lengthen that leg and then hinge. A quick hamstring stretch. We're not going to stay here very long. Just take a big breath, trying to keep your back as straight as possible. And then bend into that front leg, open the hip forwards. Now it's more hip flexor focus instead of quad focused. Squeeze that back glute, reach forwards with that front knee. Settle the shoulders. And you're welcome to add in that side bend here as well if you want to, or just hold it through center. If you were sitting working all day at a desk, chances are your breaths were not very long and deep. And so the side of your ribs, the intercostal muscles, get quite tight. And so by going into your lateral flexion, your side bend, and breathing a big breath into the sides of your ribs, you're gonna help to expand your breathing muscles, releasing tension through those breathing muscles. One more big breath. And then let's just change sides. Starting tall kneeling, put your right foot forward, stack the hip over top of that left knee, and then just tuck the tail. Squeeze through that left glute. And you're just staying here, nice and tall. It almost feels like you're trying to pull your front foot towards the back knee and vice versa. Digging the foot into the mat, digging the knee into the mat. That's going to help to enhance the stretch. And then maybe you lift that left arm and side bend over. And down at that bottom knee. Just extra good on this side. Big breaths to expand those breathing muscles. Coming up tall, lengthen that front leg. Try not to fall over. And then hinge forwards. Keeping your back as straight as possible. And then lunge forwards, bend that front leg, squeeze that back glute, reach forwards out of that front knee. Try not to just relax and do nothing here, but instead squeezing the glute, reaching forwards, and that way you get a better stretch. Maybe lifting that left arm and side bending again here, up to you. Nice big breath. And then let's just finish off with another shell stretch. Sitting the bum on the heels. Breathe into your back muscles. Take a big breath. And then that's it. All right. I hope you feel more open, more expanded now after that, less tight in the hips, all of those good things. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a lovely rest of your night, and I'll see you next time. Bye.